highest, I will come to thee.
A frail old man went to live with his son, daughter-in-law, and 4-year-old grandson. The old man's hands trembled, and his eyesight was blurred, and his step faltered. The family ate together at the table, but the elderly grandfather's shaky hands and failing sight made eating difficult. Peas rolled off his spoon and onto the floor. When he grasped the glass, milk spilled on the tablecloth, and the son and the daughter-in-law became irritated with the mess. "We must do something about grandfather," said the son. "I've had enough of his spilled milk, noisy eating, and food on the floor." So the husband and wife set a small table in the corner. Their grandfather ate alone while the rest of the family enjoyed dinner. Since grandfather had broken a dish or two, his food was served in a wooden bowl. When the family glanced in grandfather's direction, sometimes he had a tear in his eye as he sat alone. Still, the only words the couple had for him were sharp admonitions when he dropped a fork or spilled food. The 4-year-old watched it all in silence. And one evening before supper, the father noticed his son playing with the wood scraps on the floor. He asked the child sweetly, "What are you making?" Just as sweetly, the boy responded, "Oh, I'm making a little bowl for you and Mama to eat your food from when I grow up." The 4-year-old smiled and went back to his work. The words so struck the parents that they were speechless. The tears started to stream down their cheeks. Though no word was spoken, both knew what must be done. That evening, the husband took grandfather's hand and gently led him back to the family table. And for the remainder of his days, he ate every meal with the family. And for some reason, neither husband nor wife seemed to care any longer when a fork was dropped, milk spilled, or the tablecloth got soiled. Now, children are remarkably perceptive. Their eyes observe everything. Their ears, they hear everything. And their minds even process the message they absorb. If they see us patiently providing a happy home and an atmosphere for our family members, they will imitate that attitude for the rest of their lives. This story makes me think of what Jesus said in Matthew 7, verse number 12. "Therefore, whatever you want men to do to you, do also to them. For this is the law and the prophets." Many times we don't give much thought about how we treat others. Sometimes we get very annoyed about how some people do certain things that they have no control over. Oh, but when it comes to us, we want people to understand that we don't have any control over those little things that we do that are annoying them. For example, when our kids come tracking in mud on the carpet when they had no idea they had mud on their shoes, we might go berserk. But we might accidentally do the same thing. But do we go berserk at ourselves when it happens? No, because we understand that it was an accident. Maybe someone in your house had a bad cold and kept clearing his throat and blowing his nose, and you were getting really tired of hearing that over and over again. And maybe you yelled at them and said, "I wish you would just stop doing that." But you know what? Whenever we have that cold and we're having to blow our nose and we're going through that misery and having to clear our throats all the time, we want people to give us sympathy. Notice how that always works out that way? You know, in our story, the 4-year-old was learning how to treat his parents when they got older. So we need to realize that our kids are watching us, and many times they will treat us and others just as we treat others. Of course, we also can influence how others are going to treat people based upon our actions as well, especially those who look up to us. So the moral of the story is what Jesus said. Therefore, whatever you want men to do to you, do also to them.
To thee.